Chrisean Rock has reached her breaking point, and what just unfolded has left fans reeling. After weeks of subtle jabs, behind-the-scenes scheming, and mounting tension, she finally unleashed on Jaidyn in a way nobody anticipated. This was far from a simple argument. It was intense, deeply personal, and utterly chaotic. Sources reveal that Jaidyn believed he could manipulate the situation, stirring up drama and undermining the progress Chrisean had painstakingly built for herself. What he did not foresee was Chrisean confronting him with unfiltered energy, fearless intensity, and undeniable proof that exposed the truth of the matter. Make no mistake, this was not a trivial squabble. It was a full-blown confrontation that laid bare the stakes, the frustrations, and the consequences of crossing someone who had clearly had enough. What went down between Chrisean Rock and Jaidyn has sent shockwaves far beyond just the two of them, impacting everyone in their orbit. Social media has erupted, with fans split between praising Chrisean for finally exposing him and criticizing her for taking things too far. Yet the situation is far more complex than a simple clash. It's rooted in a dark, tangled web of secrets and betrayal. The real question is not why Chrisean confronted Jaidyn, but what revelation drove her to that breaking point. Once the truth behind her explosive reaction is known, it changes how anyone will ever see them. To understand the scale of this confrontation, you have to rewind and trace the tension that led here. Chrisean has never been one to hold back. From her earliest days in the public eye, she cultivated a reputation for being blunt, fearless, and unafraid to go head-to-head with anyone who crossed her. Whether it was clashing with family, going viral for dramatic confrontations, or standing firm during public disputes, she has consistently been unapologetically herself. Fans either loved her or hated her, but no one could ignore her presence. Jaidyn, on the other hand, has always operated with calculated subtlety, the strategist lurking just out of the spotlight. He often positioned himself close to the drama while keeping his hands seemingly clean. Insiders have long whispered that he is a master manipulator, skilled at controlling situations behind the scenes. And when rumors surfaced that he had actively sabotaged Chrisean's efforts, it became clear this was not an accident or a minor misstep. He had crossed a serious line, and it had her name all over it. Their history only added fuel to the fire. For months, fans watched the simmering tension play out through sneak disses, shady live streams, and cryptic social media posts. Each time Chrisean went live, the comments filled with Jaidyn's name, anticipating a confrontation. Every subtle post or smug online action from Jaidyn was dissected as a calculated dig at her. Their rivalry has always been about more than personal animosity. It has been a struggle for power, influence, and control. Chrisean's unpredictability and raw energy kept everyone on edge, while Jaidyn thrived in orchestrating events from behind the scenes. According to insiders, Jaidyn recently made a move that publicly undermined Chrisean in a way that was humiliating and deliberate. He underestimated her, thinking she would not retaliate, but anyone who knows Chrisean understands, you do not toy with her reputation, her brand, or her family without consequence. Fans now view this confrontation as inevitable, a collision waiting to happen. Weeks before the eruption, Chrisean had already dropped cryptic warnings on Instagram, signaling she was aware of the brewing tension. Meanwhile, Jaidyn continued to fan the flames with shady comments, memes, and thinly veiled jabs during live streams. The result was a perfect storm. Chrisean's breaking point met Jaidyn's arrogance, and when the two collided, the consequences reverberated well beyond a simple feud, exposing deeper layers of deception, power struggles, and a battle for control that fans had only glimpsed from afar. The fans were not fooled. They immediately understood the target, recognizing that this was far more than idle gossip, felt like a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And anyone who knows Chrisean Rock understands. Once she decides to confront you, there is no turning back. The tension, the whispers, the unfinished disputes, all of it erupted the moment she arrived and confronted Jaidyn directly. There were no cameras, no scripts, no staged drama, just raw, unfiltered chaos. But this was never about bruised egos alone. Multiple leaks suggest Jaidyn had been harboring a secret so consequential that Chrisean was willing to risk everything to confront him in person. That moment marked the breaking point, signaling that the story had escalated from a confrontation to a full-blown battle. Word spread almost instantly across social media. This was no ordinary dispute. Chrisean showed up in person, bringing a storm that had been quietly brewing for months. Rumors began circulating late at night that Jaidyn had been boasting at a private gathering about sabotaging Chrisean's efforts. Witnesses claimed he was bragging about interfering with opportunities she was meant to secure, whether a hosting gig, a brand deal, or even something tied to Blueface. The details remained unclear. Still, the implications were enough to ignite Chrisean's fury. According to insiders, the spark came when Chrisean received a DM containing screenshots of Jaidyn mocking her in a group chat. The messages were scathing, revealing his sense of invincibility. "She really thinks she is untouchable. I had to humble her. Messed her whole thing up. Now, let's see her act tough when the truth comes out." That was the tipping point. Chrisean, known for her unfiltered honesty and fearless energy, wasn't going to let this slide. The combination of public boasting, private humiliation, and the weight of a secret she now fully understood pushed her to act. From that moment, the narrative shifted. This was no longer about gossip or petty squabbles. It had become an all-out confrontation, fueled by betrayal, anger, and the need for accountability. Chrisean's decision to address Jaidyn face-to-face transformed the situation into a spectacle of raw emotion and high stakes, leaving fans both shocked and riveted. The chaos that unfolded was a culmination of months of tension, proving that, when she reaches her breaking point, Chrisean Rock will confront the source head-on, no matter the fallout. The stakes were personal, the conflict unavoidable, and the outcome potentially explosive, set the stage for a drama that went far beyond the typical online feud. That was the breaking point. Moments later, Chrisean went live, her voice trembling, but fierce, her energy uncontainable. "Y'all got me twisted," she shouted, pacing her living room with her phone clutched tightly. "Don't play with me. Don't play with my son. And don't play with my life. Jaidyn, you better be ready, because I am coming." Fans immediately erupted in the live chat, flooding it with shock emojis and questions. "Wait, she talking about Jaidyn?" Within an hour, Chrisean was on the move, reportedly heading straight to the location where Jaidyn was hanging out. The tension escalated when Jaidyn himself was live, lounging with his crew, exuding confidence and laughing as though nothing could touch him. Then everything changed. The door burst open, and the energy in the room shifted instantly. Chrisean stormed in, and chaos erupted. Thousands of viewers in the live chat screamed in real time, their comments a mix of disbelief and excitement. "Oh my God, she there? Screen record this." Her voice cut sharply through the commotion like a blade. "So, you think you can play with me? You think you can ruin my things and laugh about it?" Jaidyn attempted to dismiss her, smirking and saying, "Man, you tripping. Nobody worried about you." But Chrisean was not backing down. She lunged forward, grabbing his phone and turning his own words against him, broadcasting the proof of his bragging to the world. "Y'all see this?" she shouted. "This clown out here talking about trying to ruin me. You think I'm gonna stay quiet? No, I am showing you what happens when you cross me." The chaos intensified. The stream cut briefly, and some viewers swore they saw the phone hit the floor, but the audio kept rolling, capturing, shouting, cursing, and the raw energy of the confrontation. By the time the live feed reconnected, the scene had transformed entirely. The room pulsed with tension, every movement and word magnified in real time, leaving viewers both stunned and exhilarated by the explosive showdown unfolding before them. Chrisean stood, chest rising and falling with fierce intensity, eyes ablaze, as Jaidyn slouched back, stunned and unsteady, finally stripped of the control he usually wielded. Just when it seemed the chaos had peaked, Chrisean escalated the confrontation. She did not merely accuse Jaidyn of sabotaging her deals. She leveled a far more chilling allegation, claiming he had been secretly feeding sensitive information to her adversaries. On live, she shouted, "Y'all don't even know the half. This dude's been sending screenshots, leaking conversations, and working with people trying to set me up. That's what he calls messing up the things, but it ain't just me. He's messing with it's my whole family, my whole bag, my whole everything." The live comments blew up instantly, fans scrambling to decode who Jaidyn was colluding with and how deep the betrayal ran. Jaidyn, visibly sweating and rattled, attempted to dismiss her accusations. "Man, she lying. Don't listen to her. She making stuff up," he insisted, but the damage had already been done. Chrisean then produced what she claimed were DMS screenshots between Jaidyn and a notorious industry blogger who had been publicly undermining her for months. The messages appeared damning, Jaidyn laughing at her struggles, leaking private details about her behind-the-scenes work, and openly plotting to sabotage her reputation. One message reportedly read, "Post that. Let her drown. She don't deserve the spotlight." Another allegedly said, This will ruin her image for good. The tension in the room was palpable. Jaidyn's crew visibly shifted uncomfortably, while fans watching online erupted. Hashtags like #ChrisEveJai and #SheGotReceipts began trending within minutes, as viewers tried to process the unfolding storm. Then came the ultimate tease. Chrisean, still on live, smirked through her fury, her eyes glinting with unspoken power. "And if y'all think this is bad, wait till I drop the real proof. The whole world's gonna see exactly who Jaidyn really is," she warned. The comment section went silent in awe and panic, viewers realizing that what they had witnessed so far was only the tip of the iceberg. If she truly had more evidence, additional screenshots, recordings, or leaks, the confrontation was no longer a simple, personal beef. It was the opening salvo of a calculated takedown. Within minutes, the fallout had spread across the internet, igniting social media into a frenzy. Clips of the live stream circulated, reactions poured in from every corner, and debates ignited over whether Chrisean's evidence would be enough to irreparably damage Jaidyn's image. The confrontation had transcended a private showdown. It had detonated publicly, leaving fans, peers, and the online community scrambling to anticipate the next explosive revelation. The message was clear: Chrisean was not playing games, and the storm she had unleashed was only beginning. The clip of Chrisean storming into Jaidyn's livestream spread like wildfire, accumulating hundreds of thousands of views before the broadcast even ended. Social media platforms including Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok erupted in chaos. Fans reacted in real time. One posted, "This is not a regular fight. This is history. Chrisean just demolished Jaidyn live." Another wrote, "She came with receipts. Jaidyn better disappear for good." But the real shock was yet to come. Hours after the confrontation, a mysterious Twitter account emerged under the handle @Rock. At first, observers assumed it was just another fan page, but the content quickly proved otherwise. The account began posting screenshots that went far beyond what Chrisean had revealed on live, painting an even darker picture. The first post read, "Since Jaidyn wants to play, let's expose him for who he really is." Attached were alleged messages between Jaidyn and a prominent PR firm. In these exchanges, Jaidyn appeared to boast about sabotaging Chrisean's opportunities, even offering insider information about her in exchange for influence and clout. The revelation sent the internet into a frenzy. Fans flooded the comments, struggling to comprehend the scope of the betrayal. "Wait, he was actually selling her out." One user typed, "This is far worse than anyone imagined. Chrisean was right all along." Just as the drama seemed to reach its climax, another bombshell emerged. A leaked voice memo purportedly featuring Jaidyn himself. In the clip, a voice unmistakably resembling his said, "If she keeps winning, I lose. I got to shut her down before she takes over." That single statement reframed the entire conflict, shifting it from personal pettiness to deliberate, strategic sabotage. Insiders quickly began whispering that this was far from a random feud. Every move, every leaked conversation, suggested a calculated effort to undermine Chrisean and her success. And the intrigue didn't stop there. Sources claimed that Jaidyn had not acted alone, hinting at collaborators pulling strings behind the scenes, amplifying the scheme against her. Suddenly, what had started as a heated exchange between two people turned into a full-blown exposé of manipulation, betrayal, and scheming that reached far beyond the immediate circle. Social media users, journalists, and fans alike found themselves captivated, dissecting every message, clip, and post for clues. What was once perceived as drama was now revealed to be a carefully orchestrated campaign. And Chrisean's live confrontation was just the first act of a much larger, unfolding story. The stakes had escalated overnight. No longer was this merely about bruised egos or social media tension. It was about the exposure of covert tactics, hidden alliances, and calculated attempts to derail someone's career. And with every new leak, the question on everyone's mind grew louder. If Jaidyn wasn't working alone, who else was involved, and how deep did the web of deception really go? An anonymous source revealed that Jaidyn may have been working hand-in-hand with individuals close to blue-faced people allegedly invested in keeping Chrisean from rising independently. The blogs struggled to keep pace with the unfolding chaos. Was Jaidyn really colluding with Blueface's circle to sabotage Chrisean? According to insiders, he was far from acting alone. Leaked audio further hinted at a calculated plan to undermine her, turning what looked like a personal feud into a coordinated effort. Social media erupted in response. Half the audience hailed Chrisean as fearless, applauding her for finally exposing Jaidyn. The other half expressed skepticism, questioning whether the leaks were even authentic. One viral tweet encapsulated the tension. "This all feels too perfect. Who's really behind rock receipts? Is it even Christian?" The speculation intensified when, later that night, the @RockReceipts account posted a bombshell that sent the internet into a frenzy. The post shook the internet to its core. It read, "Y'all want to know who sent me the files? Who's been feeding everything on Jaidyn? It wasn't Christian. It came from someone in his own circle." Suddenly, the entire story shifted. What had appeared to be Christian's unilateral takedown was now revealed to be part of a more complex web of intrigue. The leaks she displayed, the DMs, screenshots, and voice memos weren't directly hers. They had been funneled by an insider intent on exposing Jaidyn's manipulation. This revelation transformed the narrative, raising the stakes far beyond a public feud between two celebrities. Immediately, speculation ran rampant. Social media feeds were flooded with theories, ranging from the plausible to the wild. Who within Jaidyn's inner circle would betray him in such a calculated way? Was it a bitter ex-partner, nursing resentment? Someone envious of Christian's rise? Or a friend growing tired of enabling his antics? The possibilities spiraled, and fans were quick to dissect every available clue. TikTok influencers went into full analytical mode, producing hours-long videos tracing Jaidyn's interactions, dissecting behavior patterns, and connecting previous incidents to the newly revealed leaks. One creator, boasting over 500,000 followers, examined the timeline closely, pointing out a friend who had been present in Jaidyn's social streams but then disappeared immediately after Christian's confrontation. The influencer argued that the friend's sudden absence, coinciding with the explosive live incident, suggested prior knowledge, or even direct involvement, in leaking the information. Another theory, gaining traction, was that a frustrated family member, tired of Jaidyn's repeated manipulations, had decided to intervene from behind the scenes, risking potential backlash to finally set the record straight. Comments sections across platforms lit up with heated debates, each new theory sparking further investigation and countless reposts. The revelation that Christian might not have been the sole orchestrator of the takedown also reframed how fans viewed her role. While her actions were undeniably bold and confrontational, the insider leaks suggested that someone else had been quietly working to dismantle Jaidyn's facade long before the live confrontation. Suddenly, Christian's on-camera showdown wasn't just a spontaneous eruption of anger. It was the climax of a pre-existing strategy executed from within Jaidyn's own camp. As the conversation swirled, hashtags like #JADEN exposed and #inside leaks began trending across multiple social platforms. The intrigue wasn't just about Christian's confrontation anymore. It was about uncovering who had been quietly manipulating events behind the scenes. Fans became amateur detectives, rewatching past lives, analyzing offhand comments, and speculating endlessly about motives. The revelation deepened the drama, proving that what initially seemed like celebrity chaos was, in fact, the tip of a much larger story. Ultimately, this post reframed the entire feud as not merely a clash of egos, but a battle of hidden alliances, secret agendas, and strategic betrayals, an intricate puzzle that the public was now desperate to solve. The question on everyone's mind: who in Jaidyn's circle had orchestrated this expose, and how far would they go to ensure the truth came out? The answer remained tantalizingly out of reach, keeping fans glued to every update, every leak, and every cryptic post for the next piece of the puzzle. Then the most shocking piece surfaced. The mysterious account shared a blurred screenshot of a Cash App transaction, accompanied by the caption, "He wasn't just messing with her bag, he was getting paid to do it." The revelation sent the internet into a tailspin. What had once appeared as messy drama between two individuals now read like a full-blown conspiracy. Fans flooded social media with questions, using hashtags like #JADEN setup and #paid to sabotage, demanding answers. Who was footing the bill? Why risk everything for this? And what else was hidden behind the deal? Christian herself went silent after the leaks, a move that only intensified the frenzy. Her quiet created more space for speculation, leaving fans desperate for clarity while the story continued to spiral. What was initially seen as a personal clash had now morphed into a tale of betrayal, strategic manipulation, and a shadowy network working behind the scenes, all of it unfolding in real time for a stunned public. Fans were certain Christian had been holding her cards close, letting the internet stir the chaos before she unleashed the ultimate blow. Jaidyn, on the other hand, remained eerily silent. No posts, no live streams, no denials. In the world of social media, silence often speaks louder than words, and his quiet only fueled the speculation of guilt. Then, just as the storm reached its peak, a fresh insider claim hit the blogs, flipping the narrative entirely. This was no longer just a clash between Chrisean and Jaidyn. According to sources, a wider network in the industry had allegedly been working behind the scenes to stunt her rise. In that context, Jaidyn appeared less like the mastermind and more like a single pawn in a far more intricate game. The public reaction intensified the drama exponentially. Within hours, the feud wasn't merely trending, it was consuming every feed, dominating blogs, and lighting up posts on the Shade Room and similar outlets. Twitter and X exploded with hashtags like #JAIDDY, nosed, #Chriseanite, and #sabotage scandals, sparking non-stop analysis and debate. Fans dissected every move Chrisean had made, piecing together the leaks and alleged DMs. One viral thread read, "Let's break this down. Jaidyn got paid, bragged about sabotaging, caught on audio, and now his own circle is leaking receipts. How do you recover from this?" Responses flooded in, praising Chrisean for being authentic from day one. "Y'all doubted her. This isn't just messy, it's criminal. Someone in Jaidyn's camp finally snitched, and I am here for it." Yet not everyone sided with her. Critics warned about trusting leaked material blindly. Screenshots can be fabricated, one argued. Where's the proof? Why is Chrisean always playing the victim? Maybe this was staged to keep the drama alive. As debates raged, engagement skyrocketed. Bootleg merch even started appearing, with t-shirts emblazoned Rock Nation vs. Team Jaidyn, transforming gossip into a full-blown cultural moment. Behind the scenes, the industry was just as tense. PR insiders cautioned that if funds were exchanged to sabotage an artist, the situation could escalate into fraud or defamation claims, potentially ending careers. Rumors circulated that some labels were quietly distancing themselves from Jaidyn, while others were positioning to back Chrisean, sensing her resilience could yield a stronger comeback. Silence from major names in the music world was deafening, prompting one chilling question: were they staying quiet to avoid involvement or because they were complicit? Tensions escalated further when Rock Receipts teased another post. "Y'all think this is over? We haven't even revealed the biggest name yet." Speculation ran rampant. Was Jaidyn working alone? Who else was pulling strings behind the scenes? Chrisean's continued silence added to the suspense, her quiet presence commanding attention while the public and industry alike held their breath. Then, the clip spread like wildfire across social media platforms, igniting chaos among fans and observers alike. On Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, users looped the footage repeatedly, scrutinizing every syllable, every pause, and every subtle shift in voice for evidence of authenticity. The commentary exploded. Some insisted it was irrefutable proof of a calculated attempt to sabotage Chrisean, while skeptics argued that with modern editing tools, anything could be manipulated. The debate alone fueled further virality, driving millions of views in hours. As the video circulated, it became increasingly clear that this was not a simple feud between Chrisean and Jaidyn. The stakes were higher than anyone had imagined. Fans began connecting dots across previous leaks, DMs, and public incidents, realizing that this confrontation might be part of a broader pattern of industry interference. Suddenly, what had seemed like isolated conflicts or petty slights transformed into the potential revelation of a coordinated effort to undermine her, an orchestrated plan involving multiple parties with vested interests in her failure. Comment sections became battlegrounds of speculation. Some users posited that this was a long-standing strategy to limit Chrisean's exposure, with insiders and managers manipulating opportunities behind the scenes. Others suggested that Jaidyn might have been a pawn in a much larger game, tasked with executing the plan, while other, more powerful figures remained unseen. Every angle raised questions about motives, alliances, and the extent of the conspiracy. Amid the online uproar, Chrisean herself remained a focal point of attention. Her silence following the leak only heightened tension and curiosity, leaving fans to wonder what her next move would be. The footage had not only exposed a possible betrayal but also highlighted the precarious nature of the music industry, where even rising stars can be sabotaged by those supposedly meant to support them. Ultimately, whether doctored or genuine, the clip underscored a chilling reality. Chrisean's struggles were not merely personal, they reflected systemic manipulation that threatened to derail her career. The video ignited conversations, fueled theories, and set the stage for what could be the most explosive chapter in her story yet. If authentic, it painted a picture of a carefully calculated effort to keep her from achieving her potential, leaving fans both outraged and riveted, waiting for the next revelation to confirm just how deep the betrayal ran. Shortly after the clip surfaced, Chrisean broke her silence on Instagram with a stark, chilling message: "Y'all think I'm scared? Nah, I'm just getting started." She didn't name names, nor did she reference Jaidyn directly. The cryptic post alone sent fans into a frenzy, igniting speculation that she was preparing something far bigger. Insiders hinted she might be gearing up for legal action, not only against Jaidyn but also against the shadowy figures orchestrating his moves. Others suggested she was plotting an explosive tell-all, ready to name everyone who had tried to sabotage her career. The intrigue intensified when eagle-eyed followers began piecing together subtle hints from the Rock receipts account, suggesting that a major label CEO might be funding the sabotage. The rumors grew so wild that some executives felt compelled to issue denials, yet the silence from other corners of the industry only amplified suspicion. Then, late last night, Rock Receipts dropped one final cryptic post. "Tonight was just Act 1. Wait until y'all see who's really pulling the strings." That single line transformed the story from a messy personal feud into what fans now call the most shocking industry conspiracy of 2025. Suddenly, Jaidyn seemed less like the villain and more like a pawn in a calculated operation designed to hold Chrisean back. The pressing question now isn't just about the feud between two individuals, it's about uncovering the mastermind manipulating events from behind the scenes. How far are they willing to go to prevent Chrisean from rising to the heights they fear she could reach? Despite the chaos, there is an eerie sense of inevitability about it all. Chrisean didn't simply confront Jaidyn, she dismantled the narrative, exposing a deeper, more sinister web of deceit. Social media is buzzing, fans are dissecting every clue, and the industry is holding its breath. The drama is far from over, and the stakes have escalated beyond a personal vendetta. What started as a clash between two people has now morphed into a sprawling saga of power, manipulation, and shadowy forces working behind the scenes. Chrisean Rock's next moves could redefine the rules of the game entirely, leaving everyone watching in suspense, wondering how far this conspiracy goes and who will emerge unscathed. But here's the real question: what's your take? Do you think Jaidyn actually betrayed Chrisean for clout and cash? Or is he simply being framed as the scapegoat while the true masterminds operate from the shadows? Drop your theories in the comments. This conversation is about to blow up everywhere, and your perspective matters. And make no mistake, this is far from over, with Rock Receipts teasing more evidence, and Chrisean herself warning that she is only getting started. We could be on the edge of one of the most explosive exposés the music industry has ever seen. Picture the names behind this conspiracy being revealed, the entire system forced into the spotlight, and long-hidden schemes finally exposed for everyone to see. So, smash that like button if you want to witness the next chapter unfold. Hit subscribe to make sure you never miss a single jaw-dropping update. And turn on notifications because the moment the next piece of evidence drops, we will be here breaking it down for you raw, unfiltered, and untamed. Trust me, the upcoming revelations will make this current chaos look tame. Stay tuned. The war has only just begun.